The alien menace. Yaris slammed his scaled fist on the podium. You think your primitive ape species can answer the questions that the Phantom Menace has posed to the Andromedan Empire? His voice echoed with a mixture of scorn and desperation. Samuel Mason, Earth's most experienced galactic diplomat, stood before the Andromedan Council, his face a mask of professionalism. He had to remind himself of the gravity of the situation rather than take offense at the derogatory remark. Samuel took a deep breath. The higher gravity of the Andromedan homeworld made him feel as if he weighed 500 pounds. High Chancellor Yaris, the human delegation comes in peace to assist in any way we can. Your message said this was an existential threat. Can you please elaborate on the situation? Yaris narrowed his reptilian eyes, but gave a curt nod. The lights dimmed, and a holographic display lit up in the center of the chamber. The rotating insignia of the galactic community flickered before being replaced by a gruesome scene. Mangled Andromedan bodies were strewn across a burning city, with strange blade-like weapons protruding from the corpses at odd angles. A huge crater smoldered where the colony's central tower had once stood. "This is all that remains of our calm colony," Yaris said grimly. "Population 2.3 million. At least it was." The Phantom Menace struck without warning. Our most advanced sensors detected nothing. They decimated our defenses from orbit before landing troops to butcher the survivors. This was 3 cycles ago. The display shifted to show another devastated settlement. This was our colony on Zayak, destroyed 5 rotations later. And this, Yaris said as the display changed again, was our mining outpost on Eldora Prime, destroyed last rotation. Samuel's heart sank as he studied the carnage. The idea that such swift destruction could be wrought upon a race as powerful as the Andromedans was chilling. Earth had barely managed a manned mission to Alpha Centauri, and here was an enemy laying waste to entire worlds. "We are at a loss, human." Yaris's voice wavered with an unfamiliar edge. Desperation. Fear? We have exhausted every military and diplomatic option. The Phantom Menace has technology far beyond our own. They strike without warning, without mercy, and disappear like ghosts. Our fleets cannot track them. Our weapons cannot penetrate their defenses. Murmurs of unease ripple through the council chamber. If the Andromedans couldn't stop this enemy, what hope did anyone have? "There is one final recourse," Yaris said, the chamber falling silent. "An ancient Andromedan prophecy spoke of a time of great darkness when our civilization would face annihilation at the hands of an implacable foe. It foretold that our salvation would come from a young race of legendary warriors, a species whose name would be synonymous with relentless determination and unyielding spirit." Yaris fixed his gaze on Samuel. They would be called humans. The chamber erupted into a frenzy of confused shouting. "The humans? You can't be serious. They only just invented the warp drive. We're doomed if we have to rely on those apes." Yaris slammed his fist again, the boom echoing through the chamber until the voices fell silent. "The prophecy has spoken," he roared. "We have no choice. The humans are our last hope against extinction." Samuel's mind reeled as he processed the gravity of the situation. If he understood correctly, the fate of the Andromedans and potentially the galaxy itself now rested on human shoulders. On his shoulders. He knew one thing for certain. If the Phantom Menace was allowed to wipe out the Andromedans unopposed, it was only a matter of time before they set their sights on Earth. This wasn't just a fight for Andromedan survival. It was a fight for the future of humanity. Samuel stepped forward, feeling the weight of billions of lives pressing down on him. "High Chancellor, we came here to help, and we keep our word. Tell us everything you know about the Phantom Menace. Humanity will find a way to stop them, or will die trying." It was a bold statement, almost a cliché, but Samuel meant every word. The human delegation would pore over every scrap of data on the Phantom Menace. They would rally Earth's greatest minds and mightiest fleets and hurl themselves into the unknown to face this enemy, with the survival of 2 species hanging in the balance. Yaris provided details that painted a bleak picture. The Phantom Menace wielded energy weapons that could slice through Andromedan hulls like a hot knife through butter. Their stealth technology made them virtually invisible, and they never left survivors. The only clues a strange repeating symbol scorched into the rubble of every destroyed colony, a possible link to their identity or purpose. As Samuel listened, a cold certainty crystallized in his gut. If humanity failed to stop the Phantom Menace here and now, there would be no future to return to, only the silence of extinction. The Andromedans had called humanity to answer their questions, and answer they would with all the power, fury, and desperate brilliance that humans were capable of. Samuel just prayed it would be enough. The urgent call to action. Samuel's shuttle touched down on Earth's tarmac with a hiss of hydraulics. He strode out, his mind racing with plans. There was no time to waste. Within hours, Samuel commandeered the high-security briefing room at UN headquarters. He paced back and forth, laying out the dire situation to Earth's top brass. "We need our best and brightest," Samuel declared. "This is humanity's greatest challenge." A gruff voice spoke up from the back of the room. "Count me in, old friend." Samuel turned to see Jack Hammer Hawkins. His hair was grayer, but his stance remained as commanding as ever. They clasped hands firmly. "Glad to have you, Jack," Samuel said. "I need you to lead our ground forces." As they discussed strategy, a young woman in a lab coat burst into the room, datapad in hand. "Mr. Mason, I've been analyzing the Andromedan data, and I have some theories about—" She stopped short, realizing she had interrupted. Samuel waved her in. "Everyone, this is Dr. Lila Chen. She'll be heading up our xenobiology research." "What have you found, Doctor?" Samuel asked. Before Dr. Chen could answer, alarms blared throughout the facility. A communications officer rushed in, urgency in his voice. "Sir, we're receiving a distress call from Prometheus Colony. They're under attack." Samuel's blood ran cold. He turned to Jack. "How fast can we mobilize a response team?" Jack was already moving. "Give me 2 hours." The next 120 minutes were a blur of activity. Troops scrambled, ships were prepped, and Samuel found himself strapped into a military transport alongside Jack and a platoon of Earth's finest soldiers. As they neared Prometheus, the devastation became clear. The colony was in flames, its structures reduced to rubble, bodies littering the streets. "My God," Jack muttered as they touched down. "What kind of monsters are we dealing with?" They fanned out, weapons at the ready. A noise from a nearby building had them on high alert. Jack signaled 2 of his men to investigate. "Wait," a voice called out. A man emerged from the shadows, hands raised. "I'm Marcus Reynolds, Colony Security Chief." Samuel stepped forward. "We're here to help." "What happened?" Marcus's eyes were haunted. "They came out of nowhere. Our sensors didn't pick up a thing until it was too late. It's like they were invisible." Before anyone could respond, a plasma bolt sizzled through the air. Jack tackled Samuel to the ground as return fire erupted from the human forces. "Contact!" Jack bellowed. "Southeast quadrant." The battle was fierce and chaotic. Human soldiers fired at targets they could barely see, relying on muzzle flashes and intuition. Jack's tactical genius shone through as he coordinated the defense, using the ruins for cover and setting up crossfires. Just as it seemed they might gain the upper hand, Samuel's come crackled to life. "Sir, a massive fleet is approaching Earth." This was just a diversion. Samuel's mind raced. They needed a plan, and fast. He pulled Jack and Dr. Chen aside. "We can't let them reach Earth. We need to draw them away. Buy us time." Dr. Chen's eyes lit up. What if we could lure them into a trap? As they hatched their desperate plan, Samuel knew the real battle was just beginning. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and he prayed they were up to the challenge. The unseen enemy. Samuel's shuttle pierced through the darkened sky, its descent towards the desolate planet marked by an eerie silence. The ship's landing gear touched down gently, and the crew disembarked, the atmosphere outside both chilling and strangely serene. Samuel scanned the barren landscape. They had come far from the safety of Earth to confront an enemy that had devastated countless worlds. "Stay alert," Samuel warned as they made their way towards the sprawling ruins. The architecture was unlike anything in human or Andromedan records. Towering spires of unknown metal stretched towards the sky, their surfaces etched with intricate patterns. An unsettling sense of the unknown hung in the air. Dr. Chen led the way, her datapad emitting a soft glow as she analyzed their surroundings. These structures appear to be made from an alloy not seen in any known civilization. It's incredibly resilient. Jack's tactical instincts kicked in as he surveyed the area. Whatever we're dealing with, they're advanced. We need to be on our toes. As they moved deeper into the ruins, their footsteps echoed eerily. The silence was punctuated only by the occasional distant clang or hum. They approached what seemed to be the central control hub, a massive structure with a pulsating core. "Be ready," Samuel whispered. "We don't know what kind of defenses they have." Dr. Chen tapped her datapad, activating a scanning module. The results came back almost immediately. "I'm detecting a massive energy source coming from within this structure. It's likely their command center." Jack's team set up perimeter defenses while Samuel and Dr. Chen approached the entrance. The door slid open with a hiss, revealing a dimly lit corridor lined with unfamiliar machinery. The group advanced cautiously, their footsteps muffled by the thick metal flooring. The corridor twisted and turned, leading them deeper into the heart of the enemy stronghold. They reached a large chamber dominated by a colossal holographic display. Dr. Chen's eyes widened as she studied the display. "This is a command interface. It looks like they're coordinating their attacks from here." Samuel's heart raced. If they could disrupt the enemy's command structure, they might be able to turn the tide. He signaled Jack to set up explosives around the perimeter of the chamber. As they prepared their sabotage, a low hum filled the room. Samuel's instincts kicked in. "We're not alone." Suddenly, the chamber's lights blazed alive, revealing a group of the Phantom Menace's soldiers, sleek, armored figures with glowing red eyes. They moved with unnerving precision, their weapons humming with deadly energy. A fierce battle erupted. Jack's team fought valiantly, using every bit of their training to fend off the advanced attackers. Samuel and Dr. Chen took cover behind a console, exchanging fire with the enemy. The room shook as the explosives detonated, sending debris flying. The Phantom Menace soldiers staggered, momentarily disoriented. Samuel seized the opportunity, directing Jack to push forward. Dr. Chen hacked into the command interface, her fingers flying over the controls. "I'm uploading a virus that should disable their command systems. It'll take a minute." Jack and Samuel covered her, their weapons blazing as they fought off wave after wave of enemies. The virus began to take effect, the display flickering and sparking. The enemy soldiers' coordination faltered, their movements becoming erratic. As the last of the Phantom Menace soldiers fell, the chamber fell silent. The control center's lights dimmed, and the once imposing display now showed chaotic, fragmented data. Samuel wiped sweat from his brow. "Good work, Doctor. Let's get out of here before reinforcements arrive." The group retreated, leaving behind the shattered control center. They returned to their shuttle, their mission a partial success. They had disrupted the enemy's command structure, but the war was far from over. As they ascended into the sky, Samuel gazed down at the ruins. They had taken the first step, but many more challenges lay ahead. The battle against the Phantom Menace was far from over, and humanity's survival depended on their resolve. The prophecy unveiled. Samuel and his team returned to Earth, weary but resolute. They were met with a mix of relief and trepidation. The data they had retrieved from the Andromedan stronghold was crucial, but there was more to uncover. In a high-security research facility, Dr. Chen worked tirelessly to analyze the enemy's technology. Samuel and Jack reviewed the intercepted transmissions from the Phantom Menace, searching for patterns or weaknesses. After days of grueling work, Dr. Chen gathered the team. "I've been studying the data, and there's something important you need to see." She projected a hologram of the intricate symbol that had been found at each attack site. This symbol appears to be central to their technology. It's a recurring motif in their data, and I believe it holds the key to understanding their operations. Jack furrowed his brow. "So, it's a mark of some kind. What does it mean?" Dr. Chen nodded. "It's not just a mark. It's a coded message embedded in their communication protocols. When decrypted, it reveals a set of coordinates and a series of dates." Samuel's eyes narrowed. "Coordinates? Where do they lead?" Dr. Chen typed rapidly on her datapad. "The coordinates point to a location in the Gamma sector. It's an uncharted region of space, but it's where the Phantom Menace appears to be staging their operations." Jack leaned in. "And the dates?" Dr. Chen hesitated. "The dates align with the next expected attack. They're planning something big, something that could devastate an entire system." Samuel's mind raced. "We need to get to those coordinates and find out what they're planning. We have to stop them before it's too late." With a new sense of urgency, Samuel and his team prepared for their next mission. The coordinates led them to a distant star system, shrouded in darkness. Their ship cut through the void, guided only by the data they had gathered. As they approached the coordinates, they discovered a hidden installation orbiting a desolate planet. The structure was massive, its exterior lined with defensive turrets and shield generators. Samuel's team infiltrated the installation, moving stealthily through its corridors. They encountered minimal resistance, the defenses seemingly automated. The true challenge lay in uncovering the installation's purpose. They reached a central chamber, where a massive holographic projection revealed the full extent of the Phantom Menace's plan. A doomsday device, capable of annihilating entire planets, was nearing completion. Samuel's heart raced. "We have to destroy this device. If they finish it, countless lives will be at stake." Dr. Chen initiated the sabotage protocol, planting charges around the doomsday device. Jack's team provided cover, engaging any remaining enemy forces. As the charges detonated, the installation was engulfed in a blinding explosion. The doomsday device was destroyed, but the team had to evacuate quickly as the installation began to collapse. Their ship raced away from the exploding installation, the shockwave rippling through space. They had prevented a catastrophe, but the Phantom Menace was still out there, their threat far from neutralized. The Alliance formed. Back on Earth, the victory was celebrated, but the threat of the Phantom Menace loomed large. The destruction of the doomsday device was a significant setback for the enemy, but it was only a temporary reprieve. In a strategic conference, Samuel addressed a gathering of Earth's leaders, Andromedan representatives, and key allies. The room was filled with tension and hope. "We've made progress," Samuel began, "but the Phantom Menace is still a formidable threat. We need to form a united front to counter their attacks. We need an alliance." Yaris, the Andromedan High Chancellor, stepped forward. "The Andromedan Empire is prepared to stand with humanity and our allies. Together, we can create a coalition strong enough to repel the Phantom Menace." The room buzzed with discussion as various leaders voiced their support. The formation of a coalition was a critical step in the fight against the Phantom Menace. Dr. Chen and her team continued to work on deciphering the enemy's technology and tactics. Their research revealed valuable insights into the Phantom Menace's weaknesses, but there was still much to learn. Samuel, Jack, and Dr. Chen were tasked with leading a series of coordinated strikes against key enemy installations. Their goal was to disrupt the Phantom Menace's operations and gather intelligence on their ultimate objectives. As the coalition's fleets assembled, Samuel prepared for their next mission. They were to launch a series of offensive operations aimed at crippling the enemy's capabilities and uncovering their ultimate plans. The coalition's forces set out, their ships cutting through the void with determination. The battles were fierce, but the combined strength of humanity, the Andromedans, and their allies began to turn the tide. Samuel and his team spearheaded the attacks, their tactics refined and their resolve unwavering. Each victory brought them closer to understanding the Phantom Menace and finding a way to end their reign of terror. The ultimate showdown. The Coalition's operations had succeeded in weakening the Phantom Menace's grip on key regions. However, the enemy remained elusive, their main force still a mystery. Samuel and his team were determined to uncover the truth. The latest intelligence pointed to a hidden base deep within an asteroid field. The base was rumored to house the Phantom Menace's leadership and possibly hold the key to their ultimate plan. Samuel, Jack, and Dr. Chen led a covert mission to infiltrate the base. The asteroid field was treacherous, with dense fields of debris and gravitational anomalies. Navigating through the obstacles required precision and skill. As they approached the base, they discovered it was heavily fortified with advanced defenses. Samuel's team used stealth tactics to bypass the outer defenses and gain entry. Inside the base, they encountered a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, each more complex than the last. Their progress was slow, but they managed to avoid detection and continue their search. Finally, they reached the central command chamber. Inside, they found a series of holographic projections and control panels. At the center of the room stood the leader of the Phantom Menace, a tall, imposing figure with an aura of malevolence. The leader, known only as the Warlord, was surrounded by advisors and strategists. They were in the midst of discussing their next move, unaware of the intruders. Samuel and his team took position, preparing for a decisive confrontation. The stakes were high, and the outcome of this battle could determine the fate of countless worlds. As the Warlord turned to address his advisors, Samuel and his team launched their attack. The battle was intense, with advanced weaponry and tactics clashing in a high-stakes confrontation. Despite the formidable defenses, Samuel's team pressed forward, determined to bring the Warlord to justice. The fight was grueling, but their resolve never wavered. In the end, they succeeded in defeating the Warlord and his inner circle. With their leader's fall, the Phantom Menace's coordination faltered, and their operations began to crumble. The Coalition's forces pressed their advantage, reclaiming territory and dismantling the remnants of the Phantom Menace's infrastructure. The threat was significantly diminished, but the galaxy remained vigilant. Samuel, Jack, and Dr. Chen returned to Earth as heroes, their mission a resounding success. The formation of the Coalition had proven to be a crucial step in overcoming the threat of the Phantom Menace. The galaxy began to rebuild, forging new alliances and preparing for a future of peace and cooperation. Samuel and his team continued their work, ensuring that the lessons learned from the conflict would guide their efforts in maintaining security and stability. The war against the Phantom Menace had left its mark, but it had also united the galaxy in a shared cause. The fight for survival had forged bonds of solidarity, and the promise of a brighter future lay on the horizon. The dawn of a new era. With the defeat of the Phantom Menace and the subsequent victory of the Coalition forces, the galaxy entered a period of cautious optimism. The once terrifying threat had been neutralized, but the scars of the conflict remained. Rebuilding efforts were underway, and the focus shifted to ensuring long-lasting peace and cooperation. Rebuilding and reconciliation. The Coalition leaders convened in a summit to discuss the post-war recovery and the establishment of new governance structures. Samuel, Jack, and Dr. Chen were deeply involved in the discussions, their insights and experiences proving invaluable. During the summit, Yaris, the Andromedan High Chancellor, addressed the assembly. The war has shown us the strength that comes from unity. We must now focus on healing the divisions that the Phantom Menace exploited and work together to create a future where such threats cannot arise again. Samuel nodded in agreement. Our victory was hard-won, and it's essential that we use this opportunity to build a more resilient and cooperative galaxy. We need to address the root causes of conflict and work towards lasting peace. Dr. Chen presented a comprehensive plan for rebuilding, which included infrastructure restoration, rebuilding devastated planets and systems with the help of advanced technology and resources from the coalition, technology sharing, providing access to advanced technologies and knowledge to affected regions to facilitate rapid recovery and development, diplomatic initiatives, establishing ongoing diplomatic dialogues between former adversaries to prevent future conflicts, joint security measures, forming a unified defense force to monitor potential threats and respond to emerging dangers. Jack, now more seasoned and reflective, advocated for the establishment of a Galactic Security Council composed of representatives from different factions within the coalition. This body would oversee the implementation of security protocols and ensure mutual trust among member civilizations. A new threat emerges. As the galaxy began to recover, a new and unexpected threat emerged from the shadows. Reports of strange energy readings and unusual anomalies in previously stable regions of space surfaced. The phenomena seemed to defy known scientific principles and cause concern among the coalition leaders. Samuel and his team were tasked with investigating these anomalies. They set out on a mission to a remote system where the disturbances were most intense. The system was a desolate place, its planets barren and lifeless. Upon arrival, the team discovered a hidden installation buried within an asteroid belt. The installation was old but highly advanced, with technology far beyond anything seen before. It appeared to be dormant, but the energy readings suggested that something was stirring within. Dr. Chen's analysis revealed that the installation was a research facility, possibly linked to ancient experiments conducted by a long-extinct civilization. The facility's systems were intact, and it appeared to be running on a self-sustaining power source. Inside the installation, they found a series of encrypted data logs. Samuel and Dr. Chen worked to decrypt the logs, uncovering information about a powerful energy source known as the ethereal nexus. This energy source had the potential to reshape reality itself, and was considered highly dangerous if misused. The ethereal nexus. The logs revealed that the ethereal nexus was a relic of a forgotten empire that had once wielded immense power. The research facility was a containment and observation center for this energy source, designed to prevent its misuse. However, it appeared that the facility's containment systems were failing. Jack's tactical instincts led him to believe that someone was trying to harness the ethereal nexus for their own purposes. The team's investigation confirmed their suspicions when they encountered evidence of recent tampering with the facility's systems. As they delved deeper, they discovered that a rogue faction had gained access to the installation and was attempting to harness the ethereal nexus to gain control over the galaxy. This faction, known as the Ethereal Order, sought to exploit the energy source to impose their own vision of order and control. The battle for the ethereal nexus. The coalition quickly mobilized to address the emerging threat. Samuel, Jack, and Dr. Chen led a strike force to prevent the Ethereal Order from fully activating the ethereal nexus. The mission was perilous as the installation's defenses were formidable, and the energy source itself was unstable. The team navigated through the facility's labyrinthine corridors, fighting off the Ethereal Order's forces and avoiding deadly traps. The installation's core, where the ethereal nexus was housed, was heavily guarded and shielded. Dr. Chen worked feverishly to stabilize the nexus and prevent it from becoming a weapon of mass destruction. Meanwhile, Samuel and Jack engaged the Ethereal Order's leader, a formidable figure known as the Nexus Sovereign. The final confrontation was intense. The Nexus Sovereign, wielding advanced technology and augmented abilities, was a formidable opponent. However, Samuel's tactical acumen and Jack's combat skills proved to be decisive. They managed to subdue the Nexus Sovereign and prevent the Ethereal Order from achieving their objectives. With the Ethereal Nexus secured, Dr. Chen was able to stabilize it and ensure that it could not be used for nefarious purposes. The rogue faction was apprehended, and the facility was resecured. A new dawn, With the threat of the ethereal order neutralized, the galaxy faced a new era of cooperation and vigilance. The Coalition's success in averting the crisis solidified their unity and commitment to preventing future threats. Samuel, Jack, and Dr. Chen returned to Earth, their mission accomplished but aware that their work was far from over. They continued to lead efforts in rebuilding and strengthening the Coalition, ensuring that the lessons learned from their experiences would guide their future endeavors. The galaxy looked forward to a future where peace and collaboration prevailed. The formation of the Galactic Security Council and the ongoing diplomatic initiatives helped to build a foundation of trust and cooperation among the diverse civilizations. As the Coalition's leaders prepared for the challenges of the new era, they remained vigilant, knowing that the universe was full of both wonders and dangers. The dawn of this new era promised hope and opportunity, and the Coalition stood ready to face whatever came next. The legacy of unity. In the aftermath of the conflict with the ethereal order, the galaxy was abuzz with renewed energy and purpose. The Coalition's efforts to rebuild and strengthen interstellar relationships were in full swing, setting the stage for a more cooperative and secure future. However, the new era also brought its own set of challenges and opportunities. The Galactic Symposium. To celebrate their achievements and plan for the future, the Coalition organized the first Galactic Symposium, a grand event bringing together leaders, scientists, and representatives from all member civilizations. The symposium aimed to solidify diplomatic ties, share knowledge, and address collective concerns. The opening ceremony was held on the neutral planet of Harmonia, a lush world chosen for its symbolic significance of unity and peace. Samuel, Jack, and Dr. Chen were honored guests, their contributions to the Coalition's success widely recognized. During the symposium, a series of keynote speeches highlighted the need for continued collaboration and innovation. The attendees discussed a range of topics, from technological advancements and environmental sustainability to cultural exchange and conflict resolution. Diplomatic advancements. One of the symposium's major achievements was the formation of the Interstellar Peace Accord, a comprehensive treaty aimed at promoting peaceful coexistence and cooperation among member civilizations. The accord established protocols for resolving disputes, sharing resources, and supporting collective security. The accord also included provisions for the establishment of a universal cultural exchange program, designed to facilitate understanding and appreciation of diverse cultures. This program encouraged member civilizations to share their heritage, art, and traditions, fostering mutual respect and collaboration. Samuel and Dr. Chen played pivotal roles in these discussions, advocating for initiatives that balanced security with openness and innovation. Their expertise in diplomacy and science contributed to the successful negotiation of several key agreements. The Science and Technology Council. A significant outcome of the symposium was the creation of the Galactic Science and Technology Council, GSTC, an organization dedicated to advancing scientific research and technological development across the galaxy. The GSTC aimed to pool resources and knowledge from various civilizations to address common challenges and drive progress. Dr. Chen was appointed as one of the Council's leading scientists, tasked with overseeing research initiatives and ensuring that technological advancements were used responsibly. The GSTC focused on areas such as energy sustainability, medical research, and space exploration. The Council's first major project was the development of a unified energy grid, designed to provide clean and sustainable energy to all member civilizations. This ambitious initiative promised to revolutionize energy consumption and reduce environmental impact across the galaxy. The Legacy Project. In addition to diplomatic and technological advancements, the Coalition launched the Legacy Project, an effort to document and preserve the history and lessons learned from the recent conflicts. The project aimed to ensure that future generations understood the significance of their achievements and the importance of maintaining peace. The Legacy Project included historical archives, a comprehensive digital repository containing records, documents, and personal accounts from the war and the coalition's formation. This archive was accessible to all member civilizations. Monuments and memorials, dedicated sites across the galaxy commemorating the bravery and sacrifices of those who fought for peace. These monuments served as reminders of the collective effort to overcome adversity. Educational programs, curricula and programs designed to educate future generations about the history of the coalition, the nature of interstellar diplomacy, and the importance of cooperation. Samuel, Jack, and Dr. Chen were actively involved in the Legacy Project, contributing their insights and experiences to ensure that the project accurately reflected the challenges and triumphs of their era. Challenges ahead. Despite the progress made, the galaxy was not without its challenges. New threats and uncertainties continued to emerge, requiring vigilance and adaptability. The coalition remained committed to addressing these challenges collaboratively. One pressing issue was the ongoing recovery of planets and systems affected by the recent conflicts. While significant progress had been made, some regions still struggled with instability and resource shortages. The coalition continued to provide aid and support to these areas, working towards full recovery. Additionally, the rise of new factions and ideological movements posed potential risks to the fragile peace. The Galactic Security Council remained active in monitoring and addressing these threats, ensuring that the principles of the Interstellar Peace Accord were upheld. The future beckons. As the galaxy looked towards the future, the coalition's leaders were filled with hope and determination. The legacy of their efforts was evident in the flourishing relationships, technological advancements, and shared commitment to peace. Samuel, Jack, and Dr. Chen, now esteemed figures in galactic history, continued to champion the values of unity and cooperation. Their experiences served as a reminder of the power of collaboration in overcoming even the most daunting challenges. The dawn of this new era was marked by a sense of optimism and potential. The galaxy stood on the threshold of a brighter future, where the lessons of the past guided the pursuit of progress and the promise of a harmonious existence. As the stars twinkled across the vast expanse of space, the galaxy moved forward with renewed purpose, ready to embrace the opportunities and challenges that lay ahead. The legacy of unity and resilience forged in the crucible of conflict would continue to inspire and shape the destiny of civilizations for generations to come.